coffee consumers and crime connoisseurs. Welcome to the third episode of Mugshot Mornings, where we explore true crime one sip at a time. Now, as always, I'm your host, Sydney, and today's story is a little quick. It's a little quick story, and it's not anything really intense today, but it is an absolute doozy. So let me give you an introduction of what we're going to be talking about today. On July 13th, 2023, an alarming story emerged from Hoover, Alabama, capturing the nation's attention. Carlee Russell, a 25-year-old nursing student, vanished after making a frantic 911 call about a toddler she claimed to see wandering alone on the interstate. The disappearance triggered an extensive search and widespread media coverage, fueling fears and speculations about her fate. Only days later, Russell returned home, sparking relief that quickly turned to confusion and skepticism. As details unfolded, it became clear that her account of the kidnapping was fabricated. This bizarre story not only raised questions about Russell's motivations, but also highlighted the broader implications of false reports and the impact they can have on communities and law enforcement resources. So, tomorrow is my birthday. Hell yeah. I will be 25 years old, or as my mom would like to say, 5 whole hands. Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday, and I have been feeling kind of anxious this morning, so I didn't really want to talk about something really dark, especially before my birthday, because that's, not what I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? So, let's get into coffee time. So, I have a free birthday drink that I got at Scooters. Okay, I know that I had Scooters 2 episodes ago, aka the first episode. It's only episode 3. But I did get something different at Scooters. I got a caramel cream cold brew. It is okay. But I can't even be upset because it was free. So I'm not upset about it at all. It actually is pretty good, but I am a latte girly. I want espresso to just kick my ass to begin my day, you know what I mean? But this, still very good. A little crazy ASMR for y'all. Anyways, so yeah. So the caramel cream cold brew, it's not bad. I used to really, really, really like cold brew, and now I do not as much. I still like cold brew, but there is such a different taste between cold brew and lattes, and I normally drink lattes. So it's not that cold brew is bad, I just prefer lattes. So since the difference in the taste is just, whatever. Sorry. It's literally not important. But no, if y'all still haven't got on Scooters, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all need to try Scooters. And I don't know if they're I don't want to say national. I don't know if they're in all 50 states. Hey, we can look that up right here. My computer's right in front of me. What states, can't even spell what, I put an I in there, have Scooters coffee? 30 states. I know I have a lot of Kansas listeners. Hey, what's going on in Kansas? Why are y'all... That was so random. Oh, and I have someone from Belgium listening. That is so cool. I literally was looking over my analytics from the past 2 episodes, and I have a listener from Belgium. So if you are the listener from Belgium, thank you so much. Hello. That's insane. Anyways, I have 10 Kansas fans. I have someone in Kentucky that listened. I saw one of those too. Okay, not really much to update. Also, last update from last episode was 9 minutes long. Hey, I'm not going to do that again. I'm very sorry. But today's story, it is technically true crime, but no one died. So that's good. No one's going to be dying in this story. I don't really have to put in a wild trigger warning. I do want to say that if you are someone who has been a victim of kidnapping, or if you have known someone that has really impacted your life because you knew someone who was kidnapped and anything like that, this story can be unsettling because someone does fake a kidnapping. So if that is something that you don't want to listen to today, I completely understand. So please just be kind to yourself, as always, as I've always said in my YouTube channel. If this is not something that you want to listen to, I totally understand. So please be kind to yourself, click out of the video, don't listen to the story, because this is just insane how people can just like fake something to something of this matter. It just doesn't make sense to me. But we will be talking about a fake kidnapping story today. So, lots of time and resources were wasted to find this girl who just completely made up a kidnapping story. And I don't really even know, no one really even knows the motive. Like, she still hasn't come out to this day to say why she did this. So let's just get into this story. So we are starting off only last year, not even 1 year ago. On July 13th, 2023, a 25-year-old nursing student, Carlee Russell, called 911 and reported that she had seen a toddler walking on the interstate in Hoover, Alabama. She explained to the dispatcher that she was going to pull over and help the child. It was around 9:30 p.m., and she explained that the child was a male toddler in a diaper.
Where's your emergency?
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you?
I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Met, like to get off by the Hoover Met.
Okay, so you're before that exit?
Yes.
Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like toward Tuscaloosa or toward 280?
Toward Tuscaloosa.
Okay, and was the child on the left or right side?
On the right side.
Were they walking northbound or southbound?
They're walking towards Tuscaloosa.
Walking southbound? Or how old did they look?
Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4.
Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them?
Yes.
Okay, are you with the child right now?
No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there?
Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah.
Okay, what kind of car are you in?
I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz.
Is that a sedan or SUV?
SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry.
Can you put your hazards on for me?
Yeah, they're on.
Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do they look like they're injured?
No, they don't.
Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
They're white.
Okay. Is it male or female?
I think it's a boy, a little boy.
White male? Okay. Is he wearing clothes?
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white T-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
And you don't see any cars anywhere?
No cars are anywhere.
Okay. All right. What's your name?
My name is Carlee Russell.
And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct?
No, but I can't really see them that good.
Okay. Try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them.
Okay.
All right. And do they have shoes on?
No.
No shoes?
Not that I can see. I can't really see that well.
Okay. All right. I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
After she got off the phone with 911, she called her brother's girlfriend to inform her of the situation, but it ended abruptly after she heard Carlee scream. The girlfriend remained on the phone and ran into the room to alert her boyfriend and Carlee's family that something had happened to Carlee. The family began screaming Carlee's name over the phone, but again, there was no response. The girlfriend told the parents that Carlee said that there was a toddler. She pulled over and was calling out to the toddler, and then she heard screaming and shuffling. She said that she didn't hear a response from a toddler or a toddler-like voice, as if the child was ignoring Carlee. Only 5 minutes later, the Hoover Police Department arrived on the scene and found Carlee's car abandoned but still running. Her wig, cell phone, purse, an Apple Watch, and what happened to be takeout food were left in the car, but there were no signs of Carlee or a male toddler. The police frantically launched a search for the woman, along with investigating any missing children that was reported possibly in their database. Her disappearance became national news and quickly rose to a trending topic on social media, which I remember seeing this last year all over TikTok. Everybody was like, let's find Carlee. I remember seeing it on Facebook. People were posting it. I'm in this Facebook group. It's like missing, murdered, and something. I don't remember. But she was featured on there. So this was like a case that spread wild. And I feel bad saying this, but most African American women or even men are not featured as much as like white women or white men whenever they are missing. Like they don't get as much media coverage as white people do. So with this being an African American woman going missing and how quickly this spread, it was absolutely insane and surprising. It's sad, but it is surprising because I remember Gabby Petito was everywhere whenever it came to her missing. But there was a lot of people that had posted, in this group that I'm in, a lot of African American families were posting that they've had a lot of people and they could not get the police, they could not get the media coverage as quick as Gabby Petito did, a young white blonde. And it doesn't matter the race. Everybody should still get the same type of media coverage when it comes to trying to find their loved ones who are missing. So, but how quickly this spread was insane. A $20,000 reward was initially set up, but it rose to $60,000 after only one day. All social media platforms were sharing her face across the internet in hopes of anyone coming forward with information. Law enforcement agencies across Alabama and even federal agencies launched search parties that her family and friends attended in hopes of finding her and bringing her home safe. She had her whole life ahead of her. She was young, gorgeous, graduated with her BSN, and continued her education in nursing and was very close with her family. Her family would have stopped at nothing to bring her home. However, they did not have to search for long. Only 2 days after Carlee had vanished, she walked right up to her family's home that night on July 15th at 10:45 p.m. She was on foot and appeared to be disheveled and, quote, not in a good state. Initially, it was called in that she was unresponsive and unconscious. Why am I like not being able to say this word? Unconscious? Unconscious? Unconscious. 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 Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. But when police arrived, her family alerted that she was home, awake, and responsive. Police take her to the hospital for a psych evaluation and take her statement. No details were given about what she said, her state, and what she was being evaluated for. Couldn't find that. It probably is good now because it's been over a year, but I could not find it. Carlee's story as to what happened is as follows. As she approached the toddler, a man appeared from the woods, picked her up, made her climb over a fence, and forced her into a car. She was in the back of an 18-wheeler truck, and there was a man and a woman along with what sounded like a baby crying. She was taken by car to a house and was blindfolded, and her kidnappers forced her to undress, and they started taking nude pictures of her. The following day, the woman that had kidnapped her fed her cheese crackers and would play with her hair. At some point, she was forced back into a vehicle, but managed to escape and ran through the woods home. Now, police helped quickly and jumped on this case really fast, but after looking at the story in its entirety, they started to raise some red flags. The police chief, Officer Durzes, held a press conference where he explained that they have not been able to verify Carlee's story yet. There was no evidence of a missing child, and no other 911 calls came in to report a missing child on the interstate. While on the phone with the dispatcher, Carlee had followed the child for approximately 600 yards on the interstate. Chief Durzes admitted that it was hard for him to understand that a barefoot toddler could travel the length of 6 football fields without running into the roadway and not crying. And I say this because it's not crying, because the person on the phone, Carlee's brother's girlfriend, didn't hear a child crying. There was no one that had called in about a child running around on the interstate, and it just didn't make sense. This caused a lot of people to spark red flags as well, because even police didn't believe her story to be adding up. Carlee's parents and boyfriend were making multiple public statements and kept pleading to be left alone and for privacy. While asking for privacy, they kept giving details. Her boyfriend, in summary, made a post thanking God for returning Carlee home safely and thanking everyone who joined in the search party to help find her. He stated that he would get on social media and see allegations that he was somehow involved in her abduction. He mentioned that Carlee was physically and mentally unstable, and she refused to give any updates about her kidnapper or her story. Why can I literally? I'm going to take a quick break because I keep trying to read and it's not working, and I think it's because my mouth is dry, so enjoy some coffee ASMR for a second. I did that into the microphone. I just blocked my face for the camera. I mean, like literally try to drink, like, right here. I hated that I did that. Okay, let's get back to the story. I just needed a minute. So, her parents addressed on Facebook that they were grateful to God for keeping their daughter safe. However, they stated, and I quote, "Just as we made a commitment to not entertain negative thoughts during the time our daughter was missing, we surely will not entertain negative thoughts or statements, unvalidated opinions, or sheer ignorance at such a joyous time." Yeah, okay. Police released interstate footage that showed Carlee's red sedan slowing down but driving for a while on the shoulder of the road with her hazards on. In this footage, there appears to be no child that Carlee had claimed, but it shows her exiting the driver's side door and walked around to the back of her vehicle at the passenger side of the car. So many cars are passing and not a single other person called about a toddler or a young woman being kidnapped. After further investigation, the Hoover Police Department obtained Ring doorbell footage from a neighbor that spotted Carlee walking down the road calmly and alone, and once she got closer to her house, the show started. She was frantic, waving her arms around, and started running and banging on the door of her house. Chief Derzes released a timeline that explained the events leading up to the 911 call that Carlee had made. At 8:20 p.m., Carlee left her job at the Woodhouse Day Spa, but surveillance footage caught Carlee stealing a dark robe, a roll of paper towels, and other items, including money from the register. Carlee picked up food from Taziki's and got snacks at Target. At 9:21 p.m., she was speaking to other people up until her phone call to 911. Now, earlier I had stated that they had found food and personal belongings and stuff in her car. Well, that is all they found, meaning they did not find the snacks that she had purchased at Target, nor the things that she had stolen from her work. One of the snacks that she had purchased at Target was, you guessed it, cheese crackers. I'm also, not talking about, Ritz-style crackers. She purchased, Cheez-Its, those types of cheese crackers. But yeah, so this woman who apparently had kidnapped her fed her cheese crackers. Going back to when police showed up to Carlee's home the night she returned, they found a $107 in cash in her right sock. This suggests that this is the cash that she took from the register at work. Further questions were raised when police continued their investigation by going through Carlee's phone. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., only 2 days before she went missing, she Google searched, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" and "What is the maximum age for an Amber Alert?" On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., she searched, "How to take money from a register without being caught." On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., she searched, "Birmingham Bus Station." 22 minutes later at 2:35 a.m., she searched, "One-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville." And the departure date was set for late July 13th, which happened to be the day that she went missing, apparently. And on July 13th at 12:10 p.m., she searched for the movie Taken, which is the Liam Neeson movie about the abduction of his character's daughter. Now, I want to just kind of chime in, and I want to note that I'm not saying that this can never happen. I'm not saying that her story is absolutely wild, that this would never happen. It is possible, but it is also very rare that people who are kidnapped are found or even found alive. So people can escape. I'm not saying that that's never going to happen, but her story is just obviously it isn't adding up, and people caught on pretty quickly to it. So She told police that she was never unconscious and there was no physical or sexual abuse, so there was really no motive that they could figure out of the kidnappers. Also, the kidnappers apparently painted her nails. So, compared to many kidnapped individuals, she was being treated really nice. She was having her hair played with, being fed cheese crackers. It just doesn't make any sense. But, having her hair played with, being fed her favorite snacks that she even picked up for them to feed her, getting a manicure, just the typical things that people go through whenever they're kidnapped. It's just disgusting. Now, after Chief Dares released his statement at the press conference and his concerns on this case on July 19th, Carlee's lawyer releases a statement to the Hoover Police Department, which sparks a new press conference on July 24th. At 4 p.m., police read a statement from Carlee Russell's lawyer. Chief Dares read the statement, explaining that Carlee Russell had admitted that the entire story of her kidnapping was false and did not happen. There was no child, there was no kidnapping, there was no one else involved, and it was a single act. She asked for forgiveness for everyone who helped look for her and for prayers while she addresses her issues and wanted to move forward from this. She also admitted that she never left the Hoover area. She never explained where she was, but she said that she never even left. An arrest warrant was issued for 2 misdemeanor charges, including false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting an incident. The police chief stated that she caused panic and alarm in a whole community only for this to be a hoax. There were countless resources and time that went into looking for her only for it to not even be real, and there should be consequences for that. Her charges carried a bond of $1,000 each and were both punishable up to 1 year in jail and a $6,000 fine if convicted. Quickly after her arrest, she was released after posting bond. Chief Dares was quick to admit how he felt about this story, stating, quote, "Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. The story opened wounds for families whose loved ones were really victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches." That's really sad. People who actually had victims or family members who were victims of kidnapping helped search for this person who had faked the whole thing. So that's so gross. Sorry, I'm pissed off. Okay. The Attorney General for Alabama, Steve Marshall, said that he intended to fully prosecute this case and wanted to monitor the investigation for other potential charges to add on top of her 2 misdemeanor charges. On October 11, 2023, Carlee pleaded not guilty to the 2 false Okay, I'm starting to not read correctly, so hold on. On October 11th, 2023, Carlee pleaded not guilty to the 2 false police report charges. A municipal court judge found her guilty and recommended no more than 1 year in jail and to pay $17,874 in restitution payments, along with the additional $1,700 in fines. This October ruling did not last long. Carlee's attorney helped her appeal this sentence as he felt that jail time was too harsh. A trial was scheduled for March 18, 2024, but ended up switching to a plea hearing instead, set for March 21, 2024. Carlee at this plea hearing pled guilty to both charges against her and did not have to serve any jail time. She was sentenced to serve a 6-month suspended sentence, 1 year probation, $18,000 in restitution, receive mental health counseling, and serve 100 hours of community service. At her hearing, she apologized for her actions for faking her kidnapping. She stated, and I quote, "I want to genuinely apologize for my actions. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress. I'm extremely remorseful for the panic, fear, and various range of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation." End quote. The chief counsel in the Alabama Attorney General's office, Catherine Robertson, said that she was disappointed but not surprised by the outcome of Carlee's final sentencing. She noted that the current law for falsely reporting crimes was a weak penalty, and legislators should consider passing a bill that enhances penalties for falsely reporting crimes. Which, yeah. There are so many missing person cases right now, and nearly 40% of missing persons are people of color. The media also does not give minorities the coverage like they do with Caucasian individuals, like I had said earlier. So for her to falsely report herself as missing, knowing that someone who is truly missing could use that media coverage, is absolutely disgusting. And there was really no motive for this, genuinely. It's still a mystery as to what her motive was. I even read a Reddit thread that talked about how it was obviously for attention, but allegedly she had failed out of nursing school, so maybe that was a possible motive. Another rumor suggested a theory that this was around the time that Alabama created a really strict abortion law, and maybe she did it to hide an abortion, but she admitted that she never left the Hoover area, so I'm not really sure how much we can trust that theory. But, ooh, big stretch. Hold on. You know when you stretch so good that, like, you can't see for a second? Shit. Okay. Yeah, so this story, I'm sorry that it's not as, like, dark and gruesome like some people like, but today I really just wanted to do a case that I found really interesting on top of tomorrow's my birthday, and I didn't really want to talk about anything kind of bad and crazy, like really dark death. I didn't want to deal with that. So this story, although it is still very sad, especially for people who do have family members and friends and loved ones who are missing and they don't know anything about their case, for someone to create this really stupid story, like, I know this sounds kind of bad, but if this was something that she had planned for a while, you would think that she would come up with, like, a better story. I know that sounds really bad to say. It does. I'm not even gonna lie and say that it isn't. It's really disgusting because of people who are kidnapped and are missing and their family does not know what's going on with them. They still have no answers. They don't get the media coverage like this young woman had. What the hell was the motive? Which, I mean, like I said earlier, we can't really trust that the nursing school's theory. We can't really trust that because that's just alleged. A lot of stuff is alleged, but she hasn't ever come out and said what the motive is. She just said that she had some emotional issues, which, yeah, duh. Like, people who don't even have a psych degree can kind of freaking figure that out, sister. Yeah, that is everything for me today, guys. This was a quick case, quick story of someone who faked her own kidnapping. So stupid. There have been times, okay, genuinely side note, there have been times that my life got bad where I was really stressed out and I wanted to literally disappear. I just wanted to go away. I just wanted to go recluse in the woods. But I would never fake my own kidnapping because of things getting bad. What the hell is wrong with people? Okay. All right, everyone. That is the story. If y'all have any suggestions, as always, please put them in the comments of what you would like to listen to next. I love when people give me suggestions. My last week's story about the Jennings 8, the Jeff Davis 8, was from my friend Skyla, and then she also gave me a really good conspiracy theory to talk about later. So, yeah. And also, if y'all like this style of something not super, I feel bad saying this, but stories that are not very, very, very intense. Kendall Ray has been doing a lot of good stories recently of true crime, like people who fake cancer, there is a guy who faked being a doctor, like giving people treatment, and he was not even a real doctor. She's been doing a lot of that style content lately, and it's been really interesting. So y'all go check out Kendall Ray. She's actually probably my favorite true crime YouTuber, and she does a lot of really good things for the families. And yeah, she has a lot of these styled stories. So if you like true crime, but you're not as into the really dark stuff, go check her out. Okay, so again, that's the story. Leave your suggestions as always. If you're on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe for more content and more episodes. And if you are on any of the podcast formats, mainly Apple Podcasts and Spotify, be sure to rate and review this podcast, as it really does help push it out to other people so I can gain a larger audience, aka more people in Belgium. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of mine. And then my birthday tomorrow. Be sure to tell me happy birthday. I'm just kidding. Y'all don't have to do that. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. And I will see you in the next episode. Oh, bye.